Greetings, and thank you for watching my self-analysis of biomechanical competency in a 25-meter swimming event. This video will include footage of my swim, screenshots, and references to scholarly articles. For this analysis, a colleague of mine filmed me completing a 25-meter freestyle lap from a side profile. The footage was analysed with reference to notable research on the matter. The biomechanical analysis will then be broken down into three parts. Firstly, the head and body positioning. Secondly, the kicking and arm action. And then finally, the breathing and timing. Please note, I will also include a reference list on each slide and at the end of the presentation. Swimming velocity is directly associated between swimmers' propulsion capabilities and their ability to minimize drag. This all starts with the head position during active swimming. Urquidi notes that the head should be aligned with the axis of the body and that even slight flexion or extension movements through the cervical spine can result in unwarranted drag. In fact, research by Cortese and Gatta have noted that proper head alignment can reduce drag by up to 20%. Furthermore, the position of the head has a notable consequence on the rest of the body. As Urquidi explains, it can result in the hip submerging underwater, creating a larger surface area, resulting in increased drag. As we pull up a screenshot of my swimming performance, we notice a straight linear line from the posterior of my skull down the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar spine, resulting in my hip structure remaining near the surface of the water. As noted with head positioning, body positioning, in particular what Gongo defines as whole body roll, is a key factor in propulsion and drag reduction. Gongo continues to note that shoulder roll is conducive with improved swimming performance and that the hips should remain aligned with the exception of high velocity swimming. However, Gongo continues to note that excessive hip roll is often a sign of fatigue and results in wasted energy expenditure that does not contribute to propulsion. As you can see in my screenshot, my right hip has excessive angular rotation to a point where the majority of the right side of the hip is out of water. As it is only a 25-meter event, it is unlikely fatigue played a factor, and as you will see later on in this video, other anatomical constraints likely played a part in the biomechanical failure. As you can see in the next screenshot, hip rotation is not necessarily a biomechanical flaw for proficient swimming. However, the hip must remain in alignment with the shoulder. Gorgulis notes that freestyle kicking serves multiple purposes, including enhancing propulsion, controlling body position, and reducing drag. He further notes that it consists of near vertical leg movements and is typically either a 2-beat sequence, meaning 2 kicks per left and right stroke pattern, or 6-beat sequence, meaning 6 kicks per left and right stroke pattern, noting that the 6-beat kicking sequence is generally used in sprinting events. Harline and Kosgaria note that the ankle complex should remain in a plantar flex position and is slightly inverted, while the hips and knees undergo subtle extension and flexion movements. Although I was able to maintain a 6-beat kicking sequence, the screenshot shows my right ankle is unable to plantar flex to the same extent as my left ankle and is both everted and externally rotated. This is likely due to ongoing rehab of a serious ankle relocation surgery. Evidently, it is likely that the deficiencies in my ankle biomechanics have had an impact on the excessive hip angular rotation noted previously. As you can see in the next screenshot, freestyle kicking is produced through plantar flexion and inversion of the ankle. Upon comparing the two screenshots, my ankle anatomical flaws become apparent. Virag and others note that there are 3 distinct phases during the stroke sequence. Firstly is the hand entry, whereby the hand should enter the water in front and laterally of the head and medially of the shoulder. The next phase is the pull-through, and during this phase, the pull-through hand should enter in fingers first with the elbow remaining slightly elevated above the wrist, pointing laterally. Finally, the recovery phase emphasizes that the elbow should remain elevated above the wrist throughout the phase. Effective swim stroke patterns result in improved propulsion, reduced fatigue, and reduced likelihood of shoulder injuries. Analysis indicates that during the hand entry and pull-through phase, I maintained appropriate biomechanics. However, it was noted that during the recovery phase, my elbow was only slightly elevated compared to the wrist. When you compare my screenshot to that of a proficient swimmer, you will notice the clear difference in elbow elevation during the recovery phase. As such, it is likely that my recovery stroke increased drag, therefore reducing my overall swim economy. Breathing plays a pivotal role in swimming, facilitating aerobic performance and managing buoyancy forces for optimal positioning in the water. However, Peterson and Kenley note that the act of breathing introduces challenges such as increased drag and diminished propulsion. This is a result of the head deviating from alignment with the body. They further note that proficient swimmers adeptly synchronize their breathing with their arm strokes, thereby reducing the duration of each breathing cycle. Effective execution of breath necessitates minimizing extraneous movements. Sheaf notes the importance of rotating the head rather than lifting it and keeping rotations to a minimum to facilitate efficient inhalation. Sheaf further notes that exhalation should occur underwater to create a vacuum within the lungs, which in turn facilitates the autonomous intake of oxygen upon inhalation. Peterson and Kenley recommend that to enhance efficiency, breaths should ideally be taken every third stroke cycle during sprint events, although it is recognized that some swimmers may opt for even fewer breaths. During my analysis, it was apparent that I maintained a 3-stroke breath sequence and limited my head movement to slight rotation. However, the video doesn't show my exhalation underwater, which I believe could be improved upon. Thank you for watching my presentation. Please view my source list for further reference.